Alright, what's going on, guys? It is your boy TKD123 here, back in Blazing Swords, and I just beat The Last of Us Part 1 last night, and we did record the official review of The Last of Us Part 1 on Road to Part 1 going live this Sunday. Definitely go check out that. But as we were recording the review of The Last of Us Part 1, my co-host Peter brought up some really cool accessibility options that I had not thought of turning on, but wanted to give to you guys in a video format, because a lot of these features are going to be very helpful for you as you play through The Last of Us Part 1. And really, I wish I had all of these options on when I first started playing The Last of Us Part 1, and these I feel are going to be very beneficial for those that really want to play this game and not have some things that are kind of annoying about the game as a whole. So without further ado, these are 5 accessibility features that you should have on with The Last of Us Part 1 on PS5. And so really, all of these, I did nothing to really assist me in combat, right? Like, we're not turning down sliders of like enemy damage or anything like that, right? I'm just talking about these that are more quality of life things, or things that enhance the overall game that I think are going to be beneficial for you as you play The Last of Us Part 1. So the first one here is called speech to vibrations. It's going to be in the screen reader and audio cue section of the options menu, and this is being described as, when enabled, spoken dialogue is also played through the DualSense wireless controller as vibrations, allowing the player to feel how the line is delivered. We also have some more context in a tweet that was posted a few days ago from M.R. Miller. He is the audio programmer over there at Naughty Dog, or at least one of them, and he was the one that coded this feature. He says, quote, "This is an accessibility feature I proposed and coded. As an audio programmer, most of my attention is on things we can hear. Now, audio-driven, nuanced haptics carry that into the tangible. I'm excited to see what others do with the tech too." So there's no way I can really show you guys on screen what's happening here. I am just playing the end cutscene of The Last of Us Part 1, just because I love this cutscene and it looks beautiful here, and it's one of the moments in the game where I used this feature, and it really did help elevate the overall context of this feature. And so what you do here is essentially the best way to describe it, because I can't describe it on video. What you want to do is talk and then put some fingers on your throat, pause, right? Like, put some fingers on your throat and you can hear the vibrations of your voice as you are talking. And so that is pretty much how it feels on the DualSense 1-to-1. Like, it really does feel like that. It feels like they are talking within the controller, and I feel like it adds a little bit more depth to it. I can easily see people turn this on and not enjoy it. My co-host Peter was saying that it was very distracting for him, and I definitely could see how it could be distracting, but I kind of just let it just blend in and kind of just put it on for a few hours and just let it just do its thing. And it is a really cool feature that I actually liked, how it added a lot of a more tangible element to the line delivery in The Last of Us Part 1. I really enjoyed this feature. You might not, and you know, above all else, this is definitely for those that are hard of hearing and they're going to be able to feel what is being said on the game and all that. But it is really cool if you want to, you know, just have a little bit more of an emphasis on the controller with that spoken dialogue. Next up, we have enhanced listen mode, and you'll find this in the navigation and traversal sections of the accessibility options menu in The Last of Us Part 1. And so this will enable you to have the ability to scan for items using circle and enemies using square while in listen mode. So you hit R1 to go into listen mode, or hold down R1, I mean, to get into listen mode, and you can press O to send out a ping to look for items, and you do square to send out a ping to show enemies. So once again, with this being an accessibility feature for those that require it to play these games, right, the enemies option is going to be very good for you if you need that. For me personally, I just found myself not using that because I don't require that specifically, but it does work very well for those that need it. It is very much a useful tool. For me, I use this mode specifically for the items, and this is such a good thing, I feel like, because in The Last of Us, you're doing a lot of scavenging, right? You are having to get resources and ammo and all that, and you're looking through different cupboards and different areas of different rooms and all that, and it may take a little time to clear a room, right? And it's just a lot more simpler to just turn on listen mode, scan for items while using O, and be able to just ping if this room has valuable things in it, or if it's just a dud, because a lot of the times you will go into a room and there'll be nothing in there sometimes, right? Not all the time, but it happens a lot, right? So to eliminate that and save yourself a little bit more time, it's just really useful to just go and ping the room and just see if there's anything of use to you that you can utilize and scavenge for your journey ahead. Next up, we have auto pickup in alternate controls and then under the assistant section of the accessibility options in the game, okay? Auto pickup is one of my favorite things in the game that they added, because I really enjoyed this feature when they added to the Borderlands franchise, because that's all about looting as well, and being able to just auto pick up these items and ingredients and all that are very useful. So it automatically picks up nearby ammo and ingredients as said before. Now for this feature specifically, it only works for ammo and ingredients for crafting different equipment, right? Any collectible or tool upgrade or any, you know, Firefly pendant for example as well, you will still have to use triangle, which I really like because those are things that you actually want to see, right? Like you want to see when you find another Savage Starlight comic, or you want to see the Firefly pendant, etc., right? So things that you can tangibly interact with and visually look at, right, are still reserved for pressing triangle for you to interact with those things. But the, you know, things like ammo and resources to make crafting and everything, those Joel will just automatically reach out and grab for himself, which I think is a very, very great feature. It does speed up the process and it's a little bit quicker. Like Joel moves hella fast to like get these items and everything, and it definitely saves you time, because when you couple this with the enhanced listen mode and you scan for items, then you go over to those items and Joel's automatically picking them up. You can clear a room a lot faster with these two options enabled, and it's going to be a great time for you overall in The Last of Us Part 1. So these last two kind of go hand in hand, but we'll start with field of view in motion sickness section in the accessibility options in The Last of Us Part 1. So this will give you a much wider view of your surroundings, which can be very critical in The Last of Us Part 1. It's described as being able to adjust the field of view of the third-person camera. So increasing it will make it more of a wider view, and decreasing it will make it more of a narrower view, right? So I have different side-by-sides of the game when it is off and then when it is enabled all the way to the max, right? And so you can see here that it gives you more of a wider view, which is definitely going to help you in terms of being able to know your surroundings in a given combat scenario or when you're scavenging as well and everything. And it's always nice to have a wide field of view, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to go over crazy, and even when you do turn this up all the way, it's not cranked to like 120 crazy field of view that you see in some games, right? Like it looks like more of like a 95 type of zone, 90 type of zone that I really enjoy in my game specifically, and it's very, very useful here in Last of Us Part 1. And lastly here, this I use in tandem with field of view. It is camera distance in, once again, the motion sickness section in accessibility options in the game, okay? So this has a similar effect to field of view, very similar but a little bit different in some ways. So it's described as adjusting the distance of the third-person camera, and increasing this value moves the camera further from the player, and decreasing this value moves the camera closer to the player. So what I ended up doing was maxing out both the field of view and camera distance, and this gave me a nice wide range of view to be able to know what is going on in a given play space. For me, I felt that was very comfortable, given that there are a lot of times where, you know, enemies will sneak up behind you and they'll come from the left or right or whatever, and it's very nice to have as much visual data as possible to make sure that you are aware of what's going on in the game itself. And those are pretty much all of the different features that I turned on in my game that I think will enhance or help you out as well to just make it more streamlined and more quality of life features overall. So first up, we have speech to vibration, enhanced listen mode, auto pickup, field of view, and camera distance for Last of Us Part 1. I highly recommend these features, and they will either A, boost and make the overall enjoyment level of the experience a lot greater, or will be more quality of life in things like auto pickup and enhanced listen mode to look for items and stuff like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Down below, what are features that you like to put on Last of Us Part 1? Was there something I missed? Do you have one that you really recommend? Let me know down below in that comment section. And also, while you are down there, make sure you check out that description. You can find links to our Discord, our Twitter, and of course our Anchor link that you can listen to our long form content in podcast format. Road to Part 1. We will have the review up on Sunday, 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time on September 11th. Then we go check out that this coming Sunday for your enjoyment. Like the video if you enjoyed it, so stay subscribed to PlayStation Source to keep up with the latest and greatest in PlayStation. Thank you all for watching, and as always, greatness awaits.